Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night, where tonight, of course, we are coming to you live and exclusive on Top Split TV for round 5 of season 34 of Sunday Night Lights here from Ledenon. I'm your host, Alex McKellar, and joining me as always is the chaotic one, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. Corey, first time here for the broadcast. Free track these days, but not many folks here during the week. We've got a full book tonight, though, as quali starts to get underway.
Yeah, that's right, Alex, and it's pretty surprising we got a full book. We were sitting there watching the timer on it, and we were watching very intently. But it's a 26-16 strength of field. Not the greatest strength of field, but for a debut race here in what is a very, very technical track with lots of rises and falls and blind corners and the such, it should be a fairly interesting race here tonight.
Yeah, that's it, mate. There's plenty of elevation and, as you say, blind corners and everything. Quite an interesting track, but certainly not found favour with the drivers this week so much. But speaking of the drivers, number one tonight, former champion for Team Torpedo, Mr. Tim Hendrickson, sits as the number one seed, as he might have to reset on that one potentially. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Steph Herman is back again. Haven't seen Steph for a while. Good to see him back out there. Neil Gardner, Captain 499, for generally stupid and slow racing. He's gone the way around as well. Seemed to catch it though. Good use of the fourth pedal. He's back underway. Ryan Chenoweth is back. He's car number 4, the Wildlife Warrior for Goose Juice Racing. Great to see Ryan out there. The head clown, Vasco Sorowski, is back in action here tonight after finishing second in the warm-up race. Had some podiums this season, everything. He's going all right. Interesting to see how he goes tonight. Philip Burke, I don't know that we've seen at all before. Maybe the time zones and the daylight savings and everything sorted him out. He's, I can't remember, but I want to say on debut. Anyway, we'll find out tonight how he goes. Strong racer is Mr. Burke. Yone Zurek, right foot breakers, is car number 7. They're back for another run. Long time no see for one Team Milo driver here, young Ben Snell. Great to see Ben back out there. Watch him to have some good car control with the old Drifterinos. Car number 9 tonight is our sole Japanese driver, Masahiro Kubota. Kubota-san has been running a fair bit in the skips this season or so. And I think this might even be his second night out at Sunday Night Lights. Great to see the Japanese drivers represented. John Reeves is car number 10 from UK&I. He's on debut. There'll be a few debutants here tonight. And car number 11, Anthony Pang, who does a lot of skips, does a lot of racing in the skips, I should say. Not often we get to see him here in the top split, though, Corey.
That's right, Alex, and great to have him out there and having a rip. Should be interesting to see what he can do. Car number 12 from Scandinavia is Peter Sapanki.
Let's go with that.
We'll go with that, Sapanki. Car number 13, lucky car number 13, Raphael Rogers from the UK, and Jason Willman, who decided not to qualify from AusNZ, car number 14. Car 15 from Michigan. So another one up early in the morning. I think it's somewhere in the range of 6:20 in the morning for him. Is Dave Lopresti. Great to have Dave out there. We've got Craig Deshawn from AusNZ as car number 16, running the Shell Helix livery there. Very nice. Beatrice Yank from Brazil, car number 17. Car 18, not in the server. That'll be the one we probably saw drop out. Alex is Ben Winter, and he's from AusNZ. We got Jorgen Rigtrop from Scandinavia, car number 19. Dylan Stafford, AusNZ, car 20. Car 21 from Carolina is Raul Prados. Car 22 from Iberia, David Bertronomou Mura.
Sounds good.
And wrapping up the field, car 23, not on the track, is Stephen Bray from the UK&I.
Yeah, that's it. A few new names to us, of course, with the single split racing. Yeah, interesting to see how they go here. This complicated track, everyone's kind of new. Yeah, interesting. Let's see if I can find Rig Trup. Looks like he's about to come across the line, and he just has after his first lap, or his second lap, is it? Yeah, probably his second. He's done all right. He's moved up into 13th, which is a fair effort. Herman now on a flyer. A couple of purple sectors as he looks to cross the line on his second lap. Consolidating pole there. Wow, that's 3 purples. That's the way to do it. Zorek, Snell crossing the line. He's gone up to second and enjoys a bit of drifting around turn 1, 2. Look at that. Not often you see the skips hang sideways like that. Swarovski's jumped up onto the second row. Chenoweth, ANZ drivers well represented. I'm just looking for Hendrickson. After that early reset, he's rounding the final corner. Good rotation in the rear there. Coming to cross the line for his second lap. What's he got for us, the Flying Dutchman? Crosses the line. No purple sectors, but it might be good enough only for the second row. A few drivers tonight, a bit short of a run this week, Corey.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those tracks that takes a little bit of getting used to, but it doesn't look like too many drivers are interested in getting used to this track, which is surprising because the character of this track is very interesting to me as someone who likes to think very technically about things. As I just saw Tim Hendrickson doing some drifties as well. So I've got a couple of guys that like to do the old drifto and the skippies. But this is also, Alex, one of those tracks where you can have that side-by-side drag race to the line. And it actually means something because of how far away the start-finish line is from the penultimate corner.
Yeah, that's it, mate. You can get a good run out of there, set yourself up. Oh, I'll tell you, Hendrickson ought to be careful he doesn't get the DQ out of all this sort of stuff. Already had to reset once. I suppose he set his laps, but I don't know. Maybe iRacing can still DQ you from there. You had any experience with that, Corey?
Not personally, no.
But he's still putting on a show. The former champion in the blue and orange Team Torpedo liveried car. Only started from the second row, but we know he can race and move forward from there, yeah, Corey?
Oh, absolutely. Tim Hendrickson, one of the drivers to watch in this race. And Ben Snell, another one. Don't let his I rating fool you. Don't let his number fool you. He won the warm-up race by 7/1000ths of a second over Vasco. So it should be a very interesting, competitive kind of race here. And with there only really being one drafting zone, as that was a very nice drifty turn 1 for Tim Hendrickson. The track is just one of those anomalies that is, it just looks so much fun to drive. It might be a bit difficult to begin with, but once the drivers really start getting used to it, with it being on the schedule, I reckon we'll see some fantastic racing around here.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Particularly when the track's going to grip up now that Hendrickson's clearing all the marbles out for everyone. Or maybe he's creating some more, I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. But there's plenty of smoke. The corner's serving nicely around here anyway, but that'll do us for quality. Let's go check out our grid for round 5, season 34, Sunday Night Lights here from Ledenon. Steph Herman on pole with 32.1. Great time there. Ryan Chenoweth for Goose Juice Racing joining him on the front row as the leading ANZ driver. Just behind him, Ben Snell for Team Milo. Haven't said Team Milo in a while, but he starts out a third just ahead of Tim Hendrickson, who joins him on the second row for Team Torpedo. Vasco Swarovski, the head clown, starts out of 5th tonight, and alongside him, the lone Japanese driver, Masahiro Kubota. And what is, I think, his highest starting position, Phil Burke from Florida, starts out of 7th. Alongside him on the 4th row will be Neil Gardner, Captain 499 for ANZ. Yone Zorek starts out of 9th tonight for Right Foot Breakers, just ahead of Raphael Rogers from UK&I. Out of 10th, Peter Suopanki. There you go. Peter Suopanki from the Nordish Clibes. He's out of 11th. Alongside him will be Anthony Pang. Going over the page now to 13th tonight will be Dave Lepresti for Quinsaki Racing. 14th tonight will be Beatrice Yank. who is possibly too old for this stuff. Jorgen Riegtrup out of 15th tonight, returning again. Craig Deschamps from the old Friday Night Race Club. Craig starts out as 16th. 17th off the grid on debut will be Raul Prados. David Muria, similarly from Iberia, on debut out of 18th. Dylan Stafford from ANZ on debut out of 19th. John Reeves, another fresh face, out of 20th. Jason Willman, certainly not a fresh face, not new to any of us who's a fan of MNL and SNL. He starts out of 21st. Stephen Bray on debut out of 22nd. And 23rd off the grid, our final starter will be Ben Winter, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. As it looks like just about everyone is on the grid. In fact, everyone is on the grid as the red lights mean rev. And, oh, I think I just saw Vasco creeping on the grid. The green lights mean go. We'll have to keep an eye on Vasco to see whether he's going to have a penalty or not. But round number 5 of season 34, Sunday Night Lights, is officially underway. And it's a good run into the first corner for Herman, who has cleared the pack a little bit and has started to just try and find the optimal racing line without letting anyone past him here, Alex.
Yeah, it was someone, I think it's Stephen Bray, who was way off the back. I don't know, maybe the size of this grid meant that he was starting around behind the last corner or so. Or maybe he was so far down the hill he had to give it a push start or something. I don't know. Anyway, our pack and our race indeed is off and running. Big pack of cars. Certainly haven't seen a field this large all week. But SNL brings out the strength and the strength of field each and every week. Hendrickson already up 2 positions, Corey, at this early stage as he runs a bit wide up the hill. Not much grip out there. Chenoweth looking to take advantage. Comes across through the following corner. These sweeping left-handers, quite a feature here, as are the undulations, Corey.
Yeah, the undulations definitely playing havoc with some of these guys on cold tyres, and this is the part of the race that I really enjoy watching. You know, watching everyone navigate the rise and the fall in the track with the blind corners and just the random drop-offs in elevation change while they're on cold tyres. It makes it very interesting racing. That is finally the first lap complete, and Steph Herman still leading the way this time from Chenoweth.
Yeah, that's it. As they started, at least for the front row, although Hendrickson having something to say about that, having dispatched Ben Snell. Swarovski now battling with Kubota. Kubota has some aggression in his racing, looking to make the moves happen. Oh, I tell you, I don't know if it was deep braking or maybe Swarovski setting up the exit, but if he hadn't turned in early there, he probably would have had a Japanese driver joining him in his cockpit there, Corey.
Oh, just about, Alex. It was definitely some very close quarters, but looks like they've started to drop right off the back of Ben Snell now. The gap, Snell to Swarovski, is out to 1.2 seconds. So it looks like we're going to have maybe a battle in 4 here for the race win. But Steph Herman, no slouch, has already pulled 0.6 of a second over Chenoweth and Hendrickson, Alex.
Yeah, well, Herman's had some amazing pace in the last couple of seasons, and if he's one of the few folk that have put in the yards here and can apply that skill, it's shaping up at least like it might be his race to lose, as they've all stretched out a little bit like Brown's cows, with Swarovski and Kubota holding off Burke, who's come back at them. Captain 499 in Burke's tow, with Zorek and Raphael Rogers on the back of what you would have to say, well, it is the top 10, but it's something what of a secondary pack as we see Phil Burke go past Swarovski into turn 1, Corey.
Yeah, that's right. And now Burke is going to try and have to catch up to Kubota here, who has put a little bit of a gap over Burke and Swarovski, as Hendrickson has just made a move up the inside of turn 5 to get back in front of Chenoweth, but he runs wide on exit and just about invited Chenoweth back to try and get second place back, but it looks like their battling has caused them to drop back to the 1.1 second threshold that draft would allow them to come back towards Herman. So Herman definitely going to be his race to lose from this point, Alex.
Yeah, it's all going to be down to what sort of pace Hendrickson brings with him. He didn't show it in quali, so but race pace can often be a different thing. The race brings different kind of pressures and what have you. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he can do from here as Swarovski now jumps to the pits. I was going to see what happened, so I'm just going to go back here. Swarovski runs wide, gets into the gravel trap, and yeah, then hits the eject button. I also wanted to go back and see, as we check in on Herman and our lead pack, they're kind of strung out, which is to be expected given the lack of laps. I want to check out where Kubota went past Swarovski. It's just over the line. Maybe, I'm wondering if you're right, if you did see the jump start and he was, although he just let a couple stream by there. That's where Burke went by as well. I'm wondering what was going on with Swarovski there, whether he got a bad run or he had a slowdown or... Anyway, we'll see what happens from here as Hendrickson looking to chase down. He's already caught up 3.5 tenths. So the question is not how far, but how long will this gap remain by the looks of it, Corey?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. At the moment, it's a very tight battle for the fastest lap as well between Herman and Hendrickson. Herman currently holds the fastest lap with a 1:32.272, and Hendrickson has the second fastest lap, just 4 thousandths of a second behind with a 0.276. So with Hendrickson getting this draft, especially along the pit straight, we could start seeing him reeling in that gap a little bit more. And also, I had a check and I did not see a black flag next to Swarovski's name. So even though I might have seen him creep, I guess it might have just been a little bit of internet playing tricks on my eyes.
Yeah, could have been, mate. So not sure what happened to Swarovski there, other than like many, a bit short of a run this week. Snell hanging on to the back here. He's about 7, nearly 8 tenths behind the front three as they are strung out a bit. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Hendrickson reaches Herman, if in fact he does, because that gap's staying around 7 to 8 tenths. So I guess we'll see. I imagine he will catch him with draft. Kubota, though, the question is, will Kubota and Kubota and Burke be able to catch up as well? Kubota had some great pace in the warm-up race. He's doing 32.4s, which is about 2 tenths off the leader's pace. That draft allowing Hendrickson to do a 31.9. I don't know if I've seen too many 31 second laps, 1 minute 31 second laps this week, Corey, perhaps with draft, who knows? But we've seen one now anyway, as Hendrickson now holds the fastest lap.
That's exactly right, Alex. And I'm hearing from our pit reporters that Vasco had a video card fail. So that is why he decided to exit stage left through the gravel trap and next to the fence. So that is very unfortunate. Hopefully that's something that he can get rectified before next week. If not, then we'll completely understand. But that's going to be a devastating blow for Vasco Swarovski, especially in this race, if nothing else, Alex.
Yeah, that's it, mate. and potentially a very costly one too. Those graphics cards these days do not come cheap. Hopefully that's something that the head clown can get fixed, as we see Burke make that passing move into turn one once again. I'm just going to suggest it's probably the best spot to do it on this track, although Kubota making it hard for the US driver as they come down the hill once again. As soon as you finish your left-handers, you then go down the hill to right-handers and up again to left-handers. It's a bit of a theme here, Corey.
Yeah, indeed it is, Alex. The way that this track just drives in itself is very interesting, and you can really only experience it by getting on track and driving it. As you said, this track is a part of base content now. So everyone should be able to go out and give it a go, as long as you have the Skippy, that is, or just drive the MX-5 around it. But it's just definitely one of those really challenging tracks, and I would put this right up there with you know, your Bathurst and your Nordschleifer as far as just how challenging the track can be.
Yeah, pretty interesting challenge, if nothing else. Just trying to give, so we're right on board with Kubota, trying to give a sense of the elevation changes here. You can see you've got to get the car balanced and ready to take corners downhill, uphill, blind cornering, cresting, and all the rest of it. You can see the sort of challenge that these drivers are facing. Is Herman now sets the fastest lap, undrafted with 31.5. I beg your pardon, it's 31s we've been seeing by the really quick guys. It's not. I was wondering if we were going to dip into the 30s. Hendrickson's still sitting about 7.5 tenths, approaching 8 tenths behind. Chenoweth now dropped off. He's now 1.3 seconds and into the clutches of Ben Snell, who's running wide. There's a few folks taking advantage of some spots, at least, where there's quite generous track limits here, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And if you're not exploring the track limits and finding out what the limits are, then I would suggest that you're probably not really racing this racetrack. There's plenty of places where you can slip that little bit wide or cut a corner just ever so slightly to gain a little bit of a competitive advantage, but it's all good as long as you know, you don't get the slowdown, you don't get the 1x for it, and these guys are finding those spots and trying to utilize them to the maximum of their ability. And I also noticed before when I threw it back to you, Yone Zorek had a bit of a spin earlier, Alex, and I think it was coming right out of turn 11, and he's dropped down to 14th position now.
Yeah, I'm just going to go back and check a couple of incidents. Rig Trup looked like he had a moment. Maybe the rear, here we go on replay. The rear maybe going through the turn 1-2 complex. Not uncommon to see here at this circuit. Let's go check out what happened to Rig Trup. Oh, he was just off and then back on again. I wonder what happened to Zorek. Let's go see what happened to Zorek. Again through one of the middle stages, but yet another set of sweeping left hand. Again, the rear goes. I don't know if it's a camber thing or, but at this stage of the race, the tyres are up, so not really a grip thing. And then he took his time to rejoin safely. Well played, sir. As we now dive back to live pictures to find Herman. Still 8.5 tenths. Now 9 tenths up the hill behind Herman. But having extended his lead over Chenoweth by about another 10th with Snell in tow. Phil Burke and Kubota continuing in their race-long battle. Burke has got some good pace. It's going to be whether or not he's done the laps. He's up a couple of spots, and I'll tell you who's moved through the field, Corey. Up 10 positions on debut. John Reeves, check this battle out. Here we go. Here's some action. We've got Reeves in car 10 on the back of Dave Lepresti, with Anthony Pang, a regular in the Skippy Series, along for the ride as well. 3-car battle here, fighting over the last 2 positions in the top 10 there for 9th there, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And we've just hit the halfway point as well. 7 laps down, 8 laps down, 7 laps to go. And Reeves, as you said, up 10 positions. So that means that he started down in P20, and he's just been working his way through. And it looks like he might get the 11th position here very shortly. But with Pang on his tail there, it's going to be hard for him to look for an overtaking opportunity without providing one for Pang as well. So nice little interesting chess battle going on here, although it looks like Pang just could not get the drive out of turn 5 that he wanted. Lost a little bit of ground there to the 2 ahead of him. So Reeves just trying to find any way he can get around Lepresti, and hopefully he can get it here soon, because this is quite the interesting little battle, Alex.
Yeah, that's it, mate. I think Hendrickson is he's still that sort of, he's back within 5 tenths, maybe 5.5. Back up to 7 up the hill. A bit of variation there, but well ahead of Chenoweth, who's now 2.9 seconds The front two have really moved away from this second pairing. Burke and Kubota similarly, about 2.5 or a bit more. So we dare I say, Corey, they've broken up into pockets of excitement once again.
Yeah, we got to have those hashtag pockets, because it's not an SNL race unless we get that every now and then. But I'm still keeping my eye on this battle for ninth, because it's definitely starting to heat up. Reeves has just been absolutely hounding the gearbox of Lepresti. He's been just poking a nose in here and there on some of these corners, and I reckon he's really just trying to unsettle Lepresti here, and just trying to make him make a mistake. So make him have one of those forced errors that we come to see on pressure to pass tracks, Alex.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe the driver's not having enough confidence here about where to push and look to force the error or force the pass. Hendrickson now with the fastest lap of the race last time round with a 31.8. 31.1, I should say. So we might see drivers slip into the 1 minute 30 deads with any luck. Although Hendrickson now just sitting that 5/10 behind again. Not many folks have done the laps here to really be able to push the limits yet, potentially. And he just seems to be losing a bit on corner exit to Herman, who just seems to nail his marks like someone who spent a bit more time here than most, Corey.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. Herman, he puts in so many laps at so many different tracks, and you know, it goes to show with the performance that he puts down on the track. But Hendrickson is just one of those guys. He could be put in just about any car on just about any track and perform like he's been racing on it for years and years. And we're seeing that right now as the gap has broken down below 4/10. It's down to 3/10 now for probably the first time since the start of the race, Alex.
Yeah, he's starting to close in. They're in the final 5 laps, the final third of the race, where the movement needs to start if you're going to make an impact. There's a few overtakes and what have you going on. Let's go see what happened. Here we go. Here's our battle that we've been following, and in fact it was John Reeves going through. I'm going to see if it was into turn 1. Let's see. Yeah, he's got the run out of the final corner as Reeves, and Lepresti becomes victim number 11, and Pang trying to take advantage, follows through behind, and looks like he got the job done almost as well, but he's I think he might have it done now as Lepresti's been relegated back down to 12th. All that hard work, and he got 2 for 1 done in quick succession there, Corey, as John Reeves now in free air looks to move away if he can.
Yeah, he already started clicking his heels and running his way when I saw it, but I also saw a little bit of an incident with Beatrice Inc. She got pushed sideways on one of these downhill corners. I'm thinking this might be turn 5, Alex.
Yeah, I'm just trying to grab it on the replay. She pushes out wide, crests the hill, comes down the next hill, shows the nose, and oh, Zorek just straight into the rear and turned Yank, the Brazilian. Unfortunate moment there, nothing intentional. Just 2 drivers don't normally see each other on the track, I wouldn't have thought, and different paces in different areas on an unfamiliar circuit there, Corey. Unfortunate one. And great to see Beatrice out here on track. She's a great follower of the community, great supporter of our community and of the skips in general. So great to see her out there having a run. Unfortunate finish for her, and I know she loves to race, but hopefully better results ahead there, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, and you know, we're very privileged to have Beatrice in the community, and she's always been one of the biggest supporters in the Twitch chat as well, and hopefully she can get back on the horse, get back into a decent finishing position for here. But the battle at the front starting to intensify a little bit, Alex, as I've been watching Herman. He's starting to get on the defensive as Tim Hendrickson crawling all around his gearbox, just trying to unsettle our number 2 seated driver here tonight.
Yeah, looks like he is starting to put the pressure on. Is Hendrickson, as you say, former champion here on a Sunday night. Very much closer than he has been all race. Herman just seeming to have more grip through some of the corners, just through lines and inputs potentially. Maybe a bit more repetition, but the race really coming to Hendrickson now as he looks to use the experience he's gained. Perhaps watching and waiting. There'll be 2 to go when they cross the line this time round. It'll be very interesting to see how this one plays out, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And the only person that Herman has been losing time to in this race has been Hendrickson. The last 3 laps, Hendrickson was a tenth better, and just about even with Herman on times. So, and the other interesting thing is as they're coming to this 2 to go, Alex, they're almost into lap traffic as well. Herman trying to take full advantage of the lap traffic by getting the draft off them, to try and save off any battle coming from Hendrickson, as one of the drivers, I think that was Dylan Stafford, pulling down to the inside of turn 1 to make sure that he wasn't in the way of the leaders. My apologies, as they come up to David Mura now. And Mura got in the way of Hendrickson there on the turn 4, the little kink there coming out of turn 3.
Yeah, he did his best to get out of the way, I think. Oh, I'm so tempted to go back. I think Reeves, I should say, run has ended. I'll grab a quick look. Doesn't look like there's any overtaking happening there. Don't tell me he loses the rear through the left-hander.
Alex, it's much worse.
Oh, no. That's Bray trying to get out of the way. Oh, that's tragedy. What a shame for the debut of Reeves, who's done such a fantastic job of getting through the field. Now it's really starting to heat up. It looked like Hendrickson was very tempted to show the nose there on the penultimate run through over one of the left-hand crests. Now back down the hill we go on the run down into the final section of the track. Hendrickson, beautiful tight line, comes up the hill. Keeps going. Has he got the run to do the overtake into turn 1, which is where it has been done so often this week, no doubt. He shows the nose. Herman, just that extra bit of pace that he needed. The door was not quite open. And again, you see the line that Herman takes. Hendrickson seemingly either overcooking or just not got the same grip, although Herman now runs wide as they come down the hill for the final time through this second sector here. They round the right-hander at the bottom of the hill. Familiar story now as they rise up again. Hendrickson really trying to show his nose on the outside, forces Herman to take a defensive line. Can he come back underneath? So difficult to do the over-under here because the quarters are so long. It's not like a short, sharp manoeuvre. You've got to grip up and get by. Now, down the hill they come for the final time into the right-hander, up again. They're going to crest the hill here to the blind left-hander at the top of the hill. 14, I think it is, or 11. Oh, Hendrickson close, but not close enough. Herman doing a sensational job, just running his line, running his marks. Hendrickson so tight through there as they come down, approach on the run down to the final corner. The drive here, all important for the race victory here. Left-hander, Hendrickson. Oh, I'm just not sure. I don't think he's got the drive there, and it's going to be Herman. Herman takes out what I think is his first ever Sunday Night Lights victory. Corey, great drive there from both men.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. I thought Hendrickson was in with a shout when they went through turn 11, and Herman just got that little bit loose. But that drive out of turn 14, the penultimate corner, is what sealed the deal there for Herman, as he just got the superior grip and was able to finish it off. And Chenoweth and Snell finished in third and fourth as well. And there's a little bit of a battle here for P10 as Sapanki is trying to get around Lepresti as they're coming to the line. It looks like Sapanki is not going to be able to get there, Alex.
Nah, that battle for P9 and 10 seems to have raised right up until the end there. Jason Willman up 9 positions in 12th in the final SNL points scoring position. Oh, Beatrice Yank, after her unfortunate mid-race shenanigans, just outside the points, but still up 1 position. Gains a bit of I rating, so hopefully not the worst night out for Beatrice. Craig Dashon in the Shell livery crosses the line in 15th. Jorgen Riegtrup, after his adventures, crosses the line down there in 16th. Dylan Stafford, the last man on track yet to finish his race. And still got a couple of hills to climb by the looks. As Stafford is... No, that's it. I think everyone's done. So on that note, I might grab the... where is it? That camera there, and then check out the race results. There we go. Round 5, season 34 from Ledenon here for Sunday Night Lights. Steph Herman, I think, takes out his maiden victory. Congratulations, Steph. Top drive from flag to flag. Dominant, consistent, and really good lines there at an unfamiliar track for most here this week. Tim Hendrickson put on a solid performance for a returning champion. Team Torpedo finished in 2nd after taking it to Herman in the latter stages. Ryan Chinworth for Goose Juice Racing, a podium. I want to say, I can't remember if he got the podium at Bathurst. I know he was top 5, but that may well be the Wildlife Warriors' first podium. Congratulations to Ryan, who put on a strong performance to hold off the returning Ben Snell. Team Milo in the top 5. Haven't said that for a while. Congratulations to Ben. Masahiro Kubota for Japan had battles throughout with Phil Burke and managed to take that one out by just the slimmest of margin, about 3/100ths by the look, which is, a very tight margin there for Kubota over Burke in 5th and 6th respectively. Neil Gardner, Captain 499 for Generally Stupid and Slow Racing, finishes in 7th ahead of Raphael Rogers on debut for UK&I in 8th. Dave Lepresti had plenty of racing done out there tonight for Quinsaki Racing. Hopefully he enjoyed his night out there, finishing in 9th, as was Peter Suopanki on debut from Norway. Or is that Scandinavia? That flag's too small. He is on debut, finished inside the top 10, rounding out that top 10 indeed, just ahead of NP11 Anthony Pang. Jason Willman rounds out your Sunday Night Lights scoring point scoring positions, finishing at 12th. The ANZ stalwart of ANZ Skippy Racing, Beatrice Yank, who is apparently too old for this stuff, and is from Brazil. She's finished in 13th. Yune Zorek for Right Foot Breakers has finished down there in P14, perhaps redressing that incident with Beatrice. Craig Dashon for ANZ down there in 15th. Jorgen Riegtrup, MSB Racing in 16th. Paul Parados on debut for the US driver, finishing in 17th. David Muria from Iberia in 18th. I'll click the button. Dylan Stafford from ANZ on debut in 19th. John Reeves, what a drive he had until it all came unstuck, not of his own doing. Unfortunate finish there for John, who had some great action along the way. Down there in 20th in the end. Stephen Bray, UK&I down there in 21st. Vasco Sorowski suffering hardware failure. The head clown down there in 22nd. Only behind him was Ben Winter in 23rd. The last 3 drivers being our 3 retirees for the night, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And in fact, it was 2 retirees and 1 did not start. But incredible race. You could tell that there was little battle packs all throughout the field as people really started to get a hang of how this track handled and how these cars were interacting with the rise and the fall and the blind corners of this track. But it was very interesting racing nonetheless. And I reckon a couple more laps and that battle for the lead could have gotten very exciting very quickly.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Good to see the racing was still on in earnest in the different pockets around the race. We've got a couple of drivers here who've come to say hello. We'll start with P2 podium getter here tonight, Mr. Tim Hendrickson. Tim started in 4th, managed to move your way forward and took it to Steph at the end there. Came close, but no cigar on this occasion.
Just wasn't in it for me. Yeah, it's one of those tracks I think where I needed a little bit more practice than 6 or 7 laps and a race. 'Cause it's one of those tracks where the track limits are, well, I don't know. I don't think iRacing knows what the track limits are because for some tracks they say the lines are the limit. It's the racing surface. For this track, all the corners are random.
Yeah.
Some corners you can completely cut. Others you just, I don't know. Quite poor in my opinion, but it's a great in terms of the track itself. It's great fun. Lots of challenges, lots of really unique corners. So at least it's a good drive.
Yeah, that's it. And I have to agree with you on this one that the lines are painted to define the track, and if they're not going to use them and some of these corners, it really makes for a different circuit, particularly.
I mean, it just pick a stance on it. Either stick to the lines or don't stick to the lines. But now with every track, a new track you try on iRacing, you need to throw the dice to see what iRacing wanted of you, and then if they don't clearly define it, you need to do laps and laps and laps to see where the slowdowns of the 1Xs are, because it's just invisible.
Yeah, it is. It should be pretty visible, but this is actually quite a stark example of some of the challenges there when it comes to that. And as you say, the rewards really, rather than being consistent in the markings, will be found where those who spend a lot more time searching for the limits. And that's part of racing, to be fair, but perhaps a bit better definition might shortcut that a little bit and be a bit more consistent. But yeah, it is what it is at this point. I imagine they'll probably redefine them at some point as the track gets a bit more usage, but I guess time will tell. But otherwise, mate, Steph looked like he had some good legs under him tonight, and
he was blooming great. Yeah, I had nothing on him. It's some corners I feel good, other corners I just feel like I'm somewhere in the middle of the track, being there, and nothing really feels like a good line to be on. Makes it really a challenge, because you attack corners and then you want to be on the limit of grip, but do you need to be? Do you want to slide wider? Because the track's really wide for how big the track is overall.
Yeah, so, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's a challenge.
It is.
But yeah, he had me on pace easily.
Yeah, he did all right. He went down. I think that might be his first win. So big congratulations and shout out to Steph on that achievement. But for now, mate, thank you for joining us, putting on a good show. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Well, of course, the usual Team Torpedo and you guys, of course, and a shout out to iRacing and a petition for them to pick a stance and run with it.
Yeah, that's it. All right, mate. Great to talk to you. Look forward to talking to you again soon.
Cheers.
There you go, Corey. That was Tim Hendrickson, who on this occasion I do share his views on some of the track limits. It makes it hard when you don't know where things are, when they should just be right there in front of you.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, Alex. And there seems to be an upwards trend in tracks where track limits don't really exist. The repave of Watkins Glen is one of those where track limits are very lax. You can run very wide coming out of certain corners, especially if you run the NASCAR version of the track. So it's definitely something that iRacing is going to have a look at and figure out, what the go is going to be, because it can be pretty frustrating if, the track limits are the lines, but no one knows about it. And if they're not the lines, then what are the track limits?
Yeah, it's funny, I did some laps here earlier in the week, and it wasn't until I watched a couple of the streams and, I can go that far out. Anyway, well, we'll find out next time we're here, no doubt. But next on our list to have a chat to is the returning Team Milo driver, Mr. Ben Snell. Ben, long time no speak, mate. How did you go out there tonight?
Hello, it's good to be back. It was nice to jump into a race and make top split, because apparently there's no participation here, but also not make a fool of myself by spinning on lap 1 or 2. So I'm quite happy with that, to be honest.
Yeah, mate, it was good run. You stuck there throughout. I think you were with Ryan Chin. Yeah, right at the end there as well. So you stuck with him, who's Been quite strong, made a lot of improvements over the past few seasons. So that's a fair effort. But no Brody in the coattails here. I saw him in the earlier one, but he had to run off.
He had internet issues, standard Brody things. But no, it's been interesting. Obviously, I've been away a fair bit, not just from skips, but just from the sim in general. So racing with Ryan and Tim and all the guys that I used to be quite competitive with and struggling to keep up. To be perfectly honest, I'm like, wow, it's like the guys right at the top end of the skips have just kept evolving and continuing to get better. And it was definitely it was just a case of I was always going to let Tim go because I know Tim probably didn't do the best quality lap he could, and then just try and hold on for dear life. And I'm happy with how I managed to hold on.
Yeah, mate, that's a good night out. 60 plus I rating to stick in the bank. P4 in the big one for the week, and hopefully, mate, we might even see you again at some point soon. Is it we likely to see you again out here on track?
Oh, hopefully it was just a case of I had a quiet day today, so I managed to jump on. I did actually 4 races in a row, so I think that helped with me to being up to pace and getting a bit of a feel again. But it's just a matter of whether I have the time to jump in on a Sunday and jump in and have a run.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, mate. Well, all the best. Great drive there tonight. Thanks for joining us. And anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Of course, shout out to you guys for putting this on. It's still going strong, even if there's like no one driving all week. There's still people driving on a Sunday night. So it's great to see that the community's still going strong on a Sunday. And of course, shout out to the Milo boys. Russell's over in Japan still, so he hasn't been on. But it's great to be back, and I hope to be back again sometime soon.
Beautiful. Thanks, Ben, mate. Great to see you out there, and look forward to talking to you again soon.
Bye.
There you go, Corey, one of the old school Skippy drivers there. Ben Snell, been out and about doing some things, but still manages to pop in from time to time, and not a bad result either.
Oh, definitely not. It's great to have Ben back out there, and unfortunately we can't make fun of him for doing Milo things because he didn't do Milo things here tonight. But great result for him, P4, and hopefully we get to see Ben come back because he is one of the characters of the sport. He always has been, and just seeing him on track is always a good thing. Especially if he's got like little to no practice, and he has to make up for it in the race. He can definitely get some good results with being under the pressure like that.
Yeah, that's it, mate. The number of times I thought, I might have him tonight, and then he seems to get a lot of practice in the race at times and just ends up beating me anyway. But then 4 in a row, as he said tonight, that's some good runs on the board as well. So good showing for Ben after a long time away. Now, special treat potentially on debut in the commentary booth at least. We've got Beatrice Yank. Beatrice, welcome. Thank you. Hello. Thank you for your support of the skips and the Fords and everything. It's great to see you out there. Hope you enjoyed your race tonight.
Well, are you hearing me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we got
Cord
you.
was saying that it was not detecting my microphone. Well, yeah, I tend to try to support the communities I am the most I can. Also, good evening for you, gentlemen. I am in the morning here. We are kind of at the other side of the world, but it's nice to be here. It's nice to follow this great series, even though the Skip and I have a rocky relationship. I don't speak the same language as it does, so it doesn't work as well as the Ford for me. The Ford speaks brute, this car doesn't, but we keep trying. We'll just take a 2-week break because I had an awful week here at Ledenon, a track that I love. I died 3 times, and I think, okay, let's just focus on something else.
Yeah.
The Viz will be here next week, so I will enjoy some of that slow action over here.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, look, it's a lovely track. It's good to drive. Just unfortunately didn't get the numbers this week until here, of course, on a Sunday night. But that presented you with a great opportunity to, and I thought, you were going to get the result, that unfortunate incident with Yernay, although Yernay redressed that.
Oh, that was a bit sad because I got a slowdown before that. Then I saw Jern on my back. I tried to go wide to let him pass. And then he got confused by that and ended up hitting me. It happens. and that ensured for some serious silliness at the end of the race. He let me pass during the race because of that, and then I tried to let him pass at the last corners of the race, and he did his best to not pass me. It was pretty silly.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Well, thankfully, you both finished okay. You were just out of the SNL points, so close but so far. But hopefully, better weeks ahead. So, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your support as always. Great to talk to you. Anyone you'd like to say hello or thank while you're here?
Well, I will want to thank you guys for broadcasting this race. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty fun to watch when I'm not racing, and it was a pleasure to race at this time. And shout out to the skipping and Formula Ford community. It's a pretty great community. I've learned a lot there, and I made a few friends there. It's pretty fun.
Great. Thank you, Beatrice. Great to talk to you for the first time, and hopefully we get to speak to you again soon. And please continue to enjoy your racing.
Thank you. See you next time.
There you go, Corey. Beatrice Yank, who enjoys the racing in the open wheelers like so many of us do, and a great supporter of our community, of course, as always.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. And it's so awesome to have Beatrice come in for an interview. I saw some people in chat was like, she speaks. But Beatrice is an awesome person. She puts in the hard yards and does the best that she can to the best of her ability. And, we're ever so lucky to have her as a part of both the Skippy and the Formula Ford communities, and hopefully she can get some more track time and start improving her I rating, and we might be able to see her become a regular competitor of top split competition.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Hopefully. Yeah, and certainly track time is something that goes a long way towards those things. Now, let's, our final spot on the podium went to the Wildlife Warrior, Mr. Ryan Chenoweth. Welcome, Ryan. Strong performance tonight. You had to hold off a hard-charging Milo driver behind. Couldn't hang on to the front ones, but a podium, mate. Nothing to sneeze at there.
Yeah, happy with the podium. It's a shame I lost the front of the pack, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Now, I can't remember if you got the podium at Bathurst or not, or is this your first podium?
It's my second podium. I mean, I'm happy that I got the podium, but I wasn't happy with the drive tonight. My pace during the week showed that I could stick it there with the Tims and the Stephs, but yeah, just too many mistakes early on in the race, and yeah, they just drove away. So my focus turned to Ben, and yeah, I was lucky to just edge him out.
Yeah, that's it, mate. You did well, though. Podium, and like I said, nothing to sneeze at there. And I know the improvements you've made over the last few seasons have been stellar. So I feel there's more to come, mate. So anyway, congratulations. Well done on the P3 tonight. And hopefully maybe a couple of steps up from there in your future as well. But congratulations. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight before we let you go?
Yeah, just like to thank you and Corey and all the guys that turn up week in, week out and make this night a good one. And the racing's always great.
Beautiful. Thanks, Ryan, mate. Look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thanks, mate.
There you go, Corey. There's a racer. He gets podium in the big one. Not happy. He sounded almost flat.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. It's great to have Ryan coming out and racing with us on a very consistent basis. And, it sucks that he was making so many mistakes early on, because I reckon if he could maintain that pace with Tim and Steph, that we would have had a really, really good race for the lead. And it probably wouldn't have taken Tim so long to catch up to Steph. And we could have been having a race-long battle for the lead. So hopefully Ryan doesn't take it too hard on himself, and we'll get to see him back next week with him putting in the hard yards, and maybe we see him take home a maiden win one of these days.
Yeah, that's it, mate. But that might just about do us. Steph Herman taking out a famous victory here tonight at Ledenon, our first trip to this very unique track. But Corey, do you want to tell the folks at home what you got coming up this week?
So last week on Monday, I had my best result ever with the Winstall Racing League. Got P20 at Martinsville after a couple of people got disqualified from the race. So this week we're at Auto Club. I'm very solidly in the top 35 in points once more, and it'll be a bit of a challenge this time with it being a 1.5 mile long track. I can't just rely on people crashing out of my way for me to get position, so I'm going to have to actually work for it. And that one will be on the ABN Esports Twitch channel, starting from about 7:45 in the morning Western Australian time. That's GMT +8. Then on Wednesday for the Output Racing League, we are going to be going to the Talladega Super Speedway for the Gladiator 200. That'll be 75 laps of absolute chaos with the Xfinity cars, and that one will be on the Aussie Sim Commentator Twitch channel, and that one will start at about 11:35 a.m. Western Australian time. On Friday, I got a couple of league races at North Wilkesboro, which should be fun in the Wayland modified car. I got no speedway to go to this week, so I don't have to stay up late on a Saturday night editing. And then back with you next week, Alex, as we go and tackle the Zandvoort, the national circuit.
Yeah, right. I love myself a good national layout. I can't remember the Zandvoort one, if it's great or not, but I guess we'll find out next week. But for now, folks, that'll just about do us. Go check us out at all the places, the likes and the subscribe and the thumbs up. Help us out over there at the top, which at YouTube, which of course is where we dual stream. We multicast these days in 1440p. You can go check out the good quality stuff over there on the YouTube channel, and all, as well as all the old seasons and all the old races. Some amazing races over the years that we've seen here on Top Split TV. And in the Discord community, of course, is where we put all the news, views, and results and everything like that as well. But for now, folks, and on behalf of the chaotic one, Mr. Corey Steinhauser, I'm Alex McKellar. I want to say thank you, as always, for the support both on and off the track. And until next time, I will say ciao for